And the last one is a quote from Soren Kierkegaard, and it says, "The only intelligent, tactical response to life's horror is to laugh defiantly at it."
So this is taking the cosmic joke and applying it in a very practical way. And why it's practical is because it talks about the horrors of the world. The cosmic joke, it shows up in blooper reels, fail videos. We're pretty silly. We take ourselves way too seriously, that kind of thing. The, what's been suggested here is that you laugh in the face of life's horrors. That's the only tactical and practical approach. That's taking the cosmic joke and putting it on steroids, or putting it to use, I suppose, and using it as an act of defiance. And what are you defying, really? Defying your broken heart, which is coming up a lot in this episode. You're using your deep knowledge that this isn't real. This is an illusion. There's an eternal part of you that knows that. That's the part that laughs, because it's quite hard. And it's not like the crazy laughter of, it's not hysterical laughter. It's seeing it, feeling the sadness, feeling the heartbreak, and choosing joy. You might say, well, how could you be joyous about this tragic thing? There's nothing to be joyful there about it. And that's true. It's heartbreaking. These things are heartbreaking. But past your natural response to those things, past your own little heartbreaking, and feeling the pain and feeling for those people, or feeling for whatever it is, it's very easy to get stuck in a loop of that and to just keep going over it and over it and over it again. And that is like a cycle of despair that just drags you down. Whereas there comes a point when you can kind of go, okay, I felt it. It was awful. It was terrible. Now what? And that's when you start laughing. Not, as I say, crazy laughter, but just the deep laughter of knowing that there is an eternal part of you inside that knows this isn't real. And you touch it every night, you go into deep dreamless sleep and it's all gone, your heartbreak, the horrors, everything. I'm not talking about nightmares. They don't happen in deep dreamless sleep. They happen in, well, either the dream world or the psychic world. I'm talking about deep dreamless sleep, where it all goes. Some part of us knows it all goes. The place we go to in deep dreamless sleep, we know that this is not real. And that what is real is the sort of joy, the mirth. I mean, I find joy is a little bit problematic because it sort of has this connotation of almost euphoria. Whereas for me, I don't so much laugh defiantly at the horrors of life, but I smile. I mean, it's after I get through being heartbroken, but there's a sort of a smile, a sort of, that can develop into laughter. It's like the cliche of a very intense scene. I often reference Steel Magnolias because it's the one that always springs to mind. There's Sally Field. She's just lost her daughter that she's been minding her whole life, her whole daughter's life, because she had, I think it was diabetes or some kind of illness where she, it wasn't just standard. She had to take care of her. She worried about her. She's just spent so much time, trying to avoid her dying. And then she meets this guy, and then he wants to have a child, and then the daughter needs a kidney transplant. The mother gives it to her, after all that, she dies. And she's, Sally Field's character, the mother's heartbroken. And there's this, gut-wrenching scene in the cemetery where she's trying to make sense of it all. And she can't. What was it all for? Why didn't she die? What was the point? Very relatable stuff. What's the point of any of this horror that we face, And then her friend, trying to help her, says this ridiculous thing, she grabs the friend who she's had a long-standing grudge with and pushes her towards her and says, hit her. Hit her. Hit Louisa. And suddenly it breaks. It doesn't. Initially, Sally Field's character is shocked, and then everyone starts to laugh. How can we do that? How can we laugh? Where did the grief go? Where did the horrors go? They didn't go anywhere. They're still there. It's not like she laughed and she suddenly didn't feel heartbroken about her daughter. But where did the laugh come from? It came from knowing something. Just knowing how absurdly transient we are, how it all disappears every night. I mean, they wouldn't have put it in those words, but I am. We know all this. And that's what this idea of laughing defiantly at the horrors of the world is about. And it's not something that you can talk yourself into or manufacture. It's something that you feel. And it's not easy to get to, particularly if you're heartbroken. But if you at least know about it, and you can see it when it's there, then you can be open to it. And it has a much higher chance of happening if you're open to it. So, yeah. It's tricky. It is tricky. Because it's easy to kind of get into hysterical laughter. It's easy to get into trying to make yourself happy or trying to get to this place of, I want to build a cosmic joke because I'm in so much pain. Unfortunately, that doesn't work. So it's a delicate balance. I think all you can do is be open to it and allow yourself to be in touch with that deep part that does know about it, does know about the cosmic joke, and does know about that ultimately joy, the smiling joy, not the hysterical joy, is the only real kind of strategic response, is what this person says, but it's the only antidote to it, or it's the balance to it, is to feel the joy. So if you are doing that at the moment in the horrors, seeing the horrors, can't look away from the horrors, remember the joy as well, the smiling joy, the gentle cosmic joke of it all. Be open to that if you can.